Right, hello. Let's do an update on Cyathea cooperii. So I did do a video. I'll just show you the tag. Information there if you're interested. Pause it and read. Anyway, so I've done a video on this. I don't know, maybe early summer. Not quite sure when. And it didn't. It probably had about 3-4 fronds. Weren't doing too well. Last year it didn't really do much, so I did repot it, potted it up into a decent up pot, good sized pot, and it has rewarded me with plenty of new growth. So it's looking quite good at the moment. Still pushing out fronds. You see we've got some uncurling, and I weren't sure when it's smaller, but now looking at it, it's definitely got a double head on it. So there's 2 growing points on that. So it's a pretty easy tree fern to look after. It's not like Dicksonia Antarctica where you water the trunk. Just keep the soil moist. Don't really want a wet trunk on these ones. Yeah, I mean they are fairly fast growers. They seem to be sort of constant, pushing out fronds rather than the Dicksonia where they tend to do a flush early spring, then maybe another flush in midsummer. This is just constant, and it's definitely looking a lot happier since it's been repotted. Looking a good healthy green, fairly dark green. Quite a furry midrib. Some sort of brown fur on that. Well, you can see that as it's starting to uncurl. So it is quite different to the Dicksonia. So let's just move this over here and sort of have a look side by side. So the Dicksonia is the totally clean midribs to the fronds. That's heavier than I thought. So yeah, quite different looking. Obviously you get a lot thicker trunk on the Dicksonia Antarctica, and yeah, obviously big fronds on that, but this is still a small plant. They are supposedly fast growing, well, they call them fast growing tree ferns, but whereas the Dicksonia you can expect maybe an inch a year if you're lucky. These should be up to 2 to 3 inches a year on the trunk, so that's fast growing compared to Dicksonia. Fairly easy one to overwinter, especially if you've got it in a pot. I'd normally just sit that at the dark side of the greenhouse, and that just sort of sits dormant through winter. Fronds don't really die back as such, they just sit there and wait for the temperatures to warm up again. I mean, you could grow these in the ground and give it a bit of protection over winter. Maybe wrap the trunk with frost cloth, and you should probably either cut back the leaves or fold them up and wrap them, and they'd probably come through quite easy, I'd imagine. So this one, it does say hardy down to 5 degrees C. I'm sure it's probably a bit hardier than that. I'm sure as long as you don't get a frost on it, you'd wouldn't have too much problem. But like I say, for me, it's going to be potted for a while until we get any sort of size trunk on it. That'll just keep getting up potted, and that way I can move it about where I want it. But yeah, it's definitely I'd I'd say the fronds obviously got a lot bigger this year, and also the trunk, like I say, I couldn't really tell before, but that is definitely a double head on that. It's 2 growing points, so there's a good, I won't say there's any trunk on it as yet. It still seems to be coming from sort of soil level or just above, so there's no actual trunk yet, but it's got some growth. It's got probably 3 or 4 knuckles ready to start unfurling. So yeah, it seems to be doing well. I think it's probably appreciated the cooler summer this year. It's been getting morning sun and shade for the rest of the afternoon, and it seems to suit it quite well. Like I say, just keep it nicely damp in the pot. It's nice and damp still. So yeah, there's your update on the Cyathea cooperii. I think if you want to go back and watch the previous video I done to compare, I think it's called fast growing tree fern ? So you can go back and compare from then to now. Yeah, I think that's going to do it. Thanks for watching. Catch you on the next one.